Greetings, friends and future friends. Today's video is on the Headrush Pedal Board. Now, what I want to talk to you today about is cabinets and microphones. Cabinets. What kind of speaker do you have in that cabinet? And how many speakers do you have in that cabinet? And microphones. Dynamic, condenser, or ribbon. All these things can alter and change your sound and either help you or hurt you when you're trying to create that great guitar sound. Now, to keep this video semi-short, because I could talk about guitar tone all afternoon, I'm going to only show you two rigs. The first rig is my distorted driven rig. I use this for playing lead guitar in metal and rock. My other rig is a cleaner rig, and I use this for playing lead guitar in country music. But between these two rigs, a distorted driven and a clean sounding rig, you're going to get a good idea on what these cabinets and microphones sound like. So, let's get started. Okay, I'm here in the green room. And now what I want to do is show you these microphones and speaker configurations and how they sound different. Now what I'm going to do is go through these rigs. I got two rigs I'll bring them up individually. And then I'm going to go through them playing a low note and a high note. And I'm going to turn the microphones off here in the studio. That way you're getting a great sound because the Headrush Pedal Board will be going through the mixer and then right into the camera. That way you get a good sound. So what you're going to have to do is watch the screen and you'll see when I switch from microphone to microphone or cabinet to cabinet. And you're going to actually hear the sound difference a little better. So let's get started. Okay, I brought up my lead guitar rig for rock and metal. And let's go down here and look at the Headrush Pedal Board and you'll see the rig configuration. Okay, you can see this is my rig RJM L1B, which is actually a lead pickup or lead rig for the bridge pickup. And you can see we have different cabinets. Now what I'm going to do here is, because one thing on the Headrush Pedal Board is that each speaker, the top one and the bottom one, you can actually go, the top goes to the left and the bottom one goes to the right. So in this configuration, I can actually change the cabinets. But for this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spring up, make this one cabinet. That way when we make a change to the sound, we're going to see it. So we bring it up. You can see I have the 412 Classic and with a condenser 87. And it sounds pretty cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different microphones. And I'm going to start, if we go to the microphones, and we're going to go start at the 57. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep that 412 cabinet, because in rock music, most of it sounds really good. Some heavy blues sound good with a 412 cabinet. And of course the country, when we go to that, we're going to go to a dual 12. But right now we'll keep that 412 cabinet. But now let's go through these different microphones. So right now we got the 757 kind of thing going on here. Okay, let's go through the microphones again. Only this time, let's start playing a high note and see what they sound like. So let's start back with that 57. Okay, now let's go through that same rig, only now let's change the speaker cabinets. Now I'm going to only stay in the 412 cabinets because anything else kind of gets too boomy when you go to the 10s, and the 12s, when we're going to 212s, kind of sounds a little thin. So we're going to stay with the 412 type cabinets. And let's take a look at the Headrush pedal board. So we're at the Classic 30, and let's do some low notes. Okay, let's go through these cabinets again, but this time let's play some high notes and see how they sound. So there you go. There's all the different sounds from all these different mics and cabinet configurations. You can see how some mics have a little low end and some have high end. Now I've gone with the 87 because it's got that bite of the 57, but yet it has a lot of bottom end like the 414. And again, it's all going to depend on the rig you're building. This rig here is where I use for playing lead over rock and metal, and it really bites through, you know. It sounds really good in a mix. So that's the heavy metal rock lead rig that I have, and all the different mics and cabinet configurations. Okay, this is my country rig, RJM CL12. Now, what we're going to do first of all is change this from 2 speakers to 1. That way, all we have to do is change the microphone for 1 speaker and we can get it. So let's bring it up. And I'm using a 57 here to start out with. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to play some low notes, go through all the microphones, come back and play some high notes. Okay, we're going to go down through the microphone list this time, but this time I'm going to play some high notes, play a little higher note. All right, let's check it out again. We'll start out with the 57. And we're back to the 57. You can actually hear how each mic sounds differently. Now, again, I used the same cabinet, and you can change these cabinets and microphones, and everything will be different. So now, let's do the same thing, only this time we're going to change the cabinet. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the 57 microphone. And let's go to the cabinets. And again, usually a 212 cabinet's got a little more bite to it. And like the old Fender twin cabinets, it has that bite to it. So we're going to start out with the 212 cabinets. I'm not going to go into all the other cabinets because in this sound, in this rig, a 212 cabinet sounds the best. So let's get started here. So there you go. In the clean sound, you can see how a microphone and a cabinet can change the sound of your rig. And when you're building your rig, that's something you need to take in consideration. So there's one more thing I want to show you when it comes to cabinets and microphones, especially the cabinet in the Headrush pedal board. And it can be a little thing. It's like the icing on the cake. And it's the breakup and the overdrive. Now, I'm not going to show it to you in the distorted channels because it's really, you need to really hear it through a good set of stereo monitors in the studio. But on the clean channel, you can really hear the difference. So what we're going to do is go down to the Headrush pedal board, and I'm going to show you as I turn the breakup up how the sound changes. And listen as I turn it up and turn it back down, how the sound changes. And basically what that is this distortion that a speaker would have when you're overdriving it. So let's see how that sounds. Okay, next thing I want to show you, another adjustment you can do to the cabinet, is the output gain. And the last adjustment is actually the amp gain. And here's what that sounds like. So the last adjustment to the speaker cabinet that I want to show you is actually the first thing. And what it is called access. And what it is the placement of the microphone.
So basically, you're talking about putting the microphone directly in front of the cabinet or off a little bit. So it depends on what cabinet you're using and what sound and what rig and amp you're using, whether this sounds good or not. But it's basically going to be a matter of choice. But what I want to do is show you the different sounds of it being on and off. So let's take a look at the Headrush pedal board. So to me, it's a matter of taste. When you're building your rig, you're going to have to see whether it sounds better on or off.
So I hope this video helps you understand how much your cabinet and microphone selection can change your sound, especially when you're looking for that great guitar sound. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. You'll help us grow the channel. That way we can bring you more cool stuff. So take care, my friends, and thanks for watching.